Hello everyone, I'm Renown Zero. We are back again talking about how Sweet Baby Inc. infected Hyper Lightbreaker developer launches Patreon to quote-unquote survive after layoffs occur. Now, for anyone that knows, anything pretty much attached with Sweet Baby Inc. is absolutely DOA for the most part because people know about the poison that is Sweet Baby Inc. Now, I say for the most part because there were projects like Spider-Mid 2 and God of War Ragnarok that had success, but could they have possibly had more success without it? It remains to be seen. For something like God of War Ragnarok, of course, they race swapped Agraboda to be a black woman because, of course, you have to have your representation and your diversity when it comes to blackwashing a character, even though it's based on Norse mythology and all the Norse gods were white. But let's get into this article here from Fandom Pulse. Heart Machine, the developer of the upcoming Sweet Baby Inc. infected Hyper Light Breaker, launched a Patreon in order for the company to quote-unquote survive following layoffs in November. Back in November, a report from James Batchelor at Games Industry revealed the company, quote, dismissed a portion of its workforce, although it's unclear which departments this has affected. The company's community manager, Yi Zhang, claimed that the layoffs will not affect Hyper Light Breaker's release. Well, that's such a good thing, man. You release a bunch of people from work, but your game will still be released even though you literally just got rid of some people in your workforce. No big deal, right? Zhang even appeared to imply that laid-off employees might be able to rejoin the company depending on the game's success. Well, considering that it's infected with Sweet Baby Inc., it might not be a possibility that it will do well. In fact, a strong and timely launch will rekindle opportunities for those affected as we look to evolve and grow the game throughout early access. So, of course, they'll use early access as a way to get people's feel on the game. It's honestly not an excuse for launching a broken game either. Hyper Light Breaker was one of the games that Embracer Group retained after it sold off Gearbox to Take-Two Interactive Software Incorporated back at the end of March. The game had also been added to the Sweet Baby Inc. Detective Steam Curator Group, given Sweet Baby Inc. revealed it had worked on the game in regards to world building, story structure, and character development, so possibly this game would be DOA. Because when Sweet Baby Inc. decides to even touch anything, most times the games are DOA. So you can see a bunch of projects they worked on, like Alan Wake 2, I've already talked about God of War Ragnarok, and Spider-Mid 2. With Spider-Man 2, of course, they pushed Miles Morales, who was Miles Morales, to the forefront to essentially replace the white dude or replace Peter Parker as they please. Battle Shapers, Breeze, Contraband, Sable, the Crew Motorfest. Of course, you had Suicide Squad defeat the Justice League over here. So that game was a complete flop, basically going on sale all year and selling for $349 and being given away for free on Valentine's Day even. The company's founder and creative director Alex Preston had also shared in August before the layoffs that the company was delaying Hyper Light Breaker's launch to Steam Early Access to sometime in 2025. He explained, quote, after much evaluation and many conversations with our publisher, Art Games, we decided that we needed just a little bit more time to get the gameplay experience polished to our standards. Now that I see as being very good, that they take time to polish the game more, make it come out not as broken, less broken, hopefully not broken at all. Therefore, we're now looking at an early access launch date of very early next year. Preston added, quote, we don't want to ship a project even in early access that we're not satisfied with on a number of fronts. Especially in the current state of the industry, we need to put as good a foot forward as we can. As long as, Sweet Baby Inc. didn't absolutely wreck your guys' vision for this game, you should be fine as long as the gameplay loop isn't good and the story is written well. Now, following these layoffs, Preston announced the company has launched a Patreon in order to stay afloat. On the company's official YouTube channel, Preston stated, quote, so state of the industry not great right now. So you even got people in the industry telling you that the state of the industry is not great. Games are the greatest form of expression that humans have ever created. There's a common saying in development that it's a miracle that any games are made at all, let alone good ones. And now it's even more brutal. He continued, over the past 2 years, the industry has rapidly changed, flipped around, and turned upside down. Funding for new projects is sparse, even for successful developers. Everything is far more expensive to make. I don't understand why, honestly. Paths we used to be able to take to create projects no longer exist. I would say for a lot of newer projects, switching to Unreal Engine 5 probably shouldn't do that right now. Quote, you've likely heard about this on some front. It's grim. 30% of all games developers have either been laid off or had their roles significantly reduced or affected over the past year alone, he shared. Studios have closed, many have left, and we at Heart Machine are not immune, having gone through layoffs in November of this year. Terrible for people to lose their jobs, honestly. It should be happening. If your game is doing solid, your game sells well, you should be able to keep your job. Next, he shares specifically why he and the company are launching the Patreon. Quote, since the old models are not enough, we have to adapt. So we're asking for support to help us continue to not just survive, but adapt and thrive. People should honestly wait till their game comes out before they donate to this, honestly, to help us prototype and build new projects to help support us when the state of the industry has made it so much harder to exist. Quote, ever since we got started back in the Kickstarter days, we've been big on talking to our audience, and we think this Patreon is an opportunity for us to do more on this front while also benefiting. He then shared what he and the company will offer through the Patreon to give a more thorough and deep insight into our process and what it takes to make games, sharing exclusive write-ups, videos, concept art, design documents, and prototype gifts for all of our projects, past and present. That'd be cool. I think that would be awesome, though. I still say wait. To share more about the issues in the industry driving this state of turmoil, they could easily do that for free on YouTube, e.g. corporate consolidation, overspending, accelerating costs, and a changing market. To reach a bigger audience with more transparency and otherwise notoriously opaque industry in the hope that we can share and do our part to help others to do better, navigate, and survive. Again, it would be better, you'd have a bigger audience if you just do it on YouTube rather than putting it behind a paywall. Preston then concluded, quote, we all love games. We're here because it's an industry driven by passion, but it's never been easy. We've been making titles we are extremely proud of for 10 years now, and we want to make sure we can stick around another 10. Approaches like this Patreon are part of what it takes to make sure of that, to get through the toughest times and come out ultimately better. Again, they should do stuff on YouTube and then offer a Patreon later. The Patreon currently features 6 different supporter levels ranging from free to $100 a month. It currently has 390 members. Hyper Light Breaker goes to the Steam Early Access on January 14th and will cost $29.99. Preston said in a recent post on Steam announcing the date and price, we're thrilled to be part of the Day of the Devs, the Game Awards edition, and finally reveal that Hyper Light Breaker will be launching in Early Access in just a month. From all of us at Heart Machine, we really can't thank our community, friends, and colleagues enough for all of the support over the years and sticking with us as we worked on our most ambitious project yet. Launching Hyper Light Breaker in Early Access will be just the beginning, as we want the community to be part of the game's development journey. So again, beta testing. They want the players to be beta testers. I personally don't believe in this. I mean, we practically already do beta test games even at $70 because they continue to come out busted, broken, and buggy. We really can't wait for players to join us in the overgrowth to bring Hyper Light Breaker to its full potential. And again, to sum it all up, I think it's cool that they're telling people about how the industry works and why things are happening the way they're happening, but I believe that they should do it for free on YouTube before asking for money on Patreon, even though they've been around for 10 years. I still think they should offer the information for free over on YouTube. It'd probably get a much wider reach doing it for free than asking for money to be given to them on Patreon. So at the end of the day, I hope these guys survive. I hope their game does well, and hopefully it isn't really boggled down by the Sweet Baby Inc. involvement. And honestly, I just want these developers to make great games that they're actually passionate about, that don't talk down to the customer. Thank you all for checking out this video. I really do appreciate all the new subscribers, returning subscribers, new viewers, and returning viewers. If you do like this video, hit that like button. Comment below if you feel about all this. Subscribe for more content. Hit the bell for notifications. Set the bell to all that we get a notification anytime I post a new video. Go live on this channel. And I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.